Hello, my cleansers. Thanks for tuning in one last time. This is actually going to be the last video of this cleanse. And from here on out, guys, I will be posting on my 6 Foot Sarah website. You guys got the first glimpse of the intentional cleanse. So thanks for following along. I hope you learned something. I hope you put some of the things into play and maybe still are. And I promised you a video on essential oils, so I'm going to just kind of get right into it and let you guys know a few things. Not to overwhelm you, but just to, I've mentioned them a couple of times. And I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't give you a little background on essential oils before you went out and started using them. So I used oils during massage therapy for years, and I never really fully understood their power, or how to pick a brand and what to look for and how to know if what I'm using is safe and effective. And I knew very little. Like, I just knew lavender was good for relaxation. Eucalyptus helped open up your sinuses. That's probably the, the extent of what I knew off the top of my head about oils. So essential oils are basically aromatic compounds distilled from plants, and they support the plant's immune system, maybe fending off pests or bad weather or different kinds of infections. And in the same way, it can support our body, support our immune system. Most of the oils are some collection of antimicrobial, antiviral, antibiotic. They're all a little different, but most of them have overlapping qualities. They do a lot of the same things. And a lot of times they're grouped, like the florals will do a certain thing. A lot of the citrus oils do similar things. So they're kind of grouped similarly, but they're all different and unique. They all bring a different aroma, of course. And with that, they do different things aromatically to help our emotions. So there's some overlap, but they're just amazing in their uniqueness in the same way. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the brand that I chose. I chose doTERRA. I'm going to show you one of the bottles here. This is bergamot. We're going to be talking about that. And part of the reason I chose doTERRA, I've been hearing about it for a while. There's a lot of other health coaches that got involved with doTERRA. And to begin, to be honest with you, at the beginning, I was like, I don't know, something about it. I just wasn't ready to hear about oils. But I took a class back about a year ago, and very, very informed, educated, and wonderful woman named Mary Lou taught me a ton about oils, and literally, like, my jaw dropped. I was like, I cannot believe oils can do all this stuff. And some of the stories that she shared of how it's worked in her family, I'm like, I gotta learn more. And to be honest with you, at first I was a little turned off by the price. I'm kind of frugal, and but I looked into it a little bit more, and once I realized actually how helpful they are and what some of the actual, like, price per drop of oil can be for some of the oils, I was like, this is this is cheaper than anything out there, really, when you're talking about getting the purity and the effectiveness for pennies per drop. Seriously, guys. So, and that's not just doTERRA. Anything that you want to help support your body's healing, your immune system turning over a more natural leaf, yeah, you're probably going to pay a little bit more for it. But hopefully, if it's similar to the oils, you don't use a lot. I mean, literally, some of these oils, this is a 15 milliliter oil bottle. I'll use a drop at a time. And again, some of these, the bergamot's about maybe 11 cents per drop wholesale. In a big 15 milliliter bottle like this has about 250 drops in it. So when you're talking one drop at a time, I mean, that's almost a full year on one bottle. So anyway, that's a little background on how paying a little bit more for purity and quality makes a big difference. And the other thing I love about doTERRA, there's so many things I love about doTERRA, but I'm just going to share a couple with you as far as safety and picking an oil for you. There's a lot of oils out there that you might hear about people taking internally, and you do not want to take anything internally until you know what you're taking. And that goes, again, across the label or across the board for anything. But with essential oils, I'm going to try to make sure I get it in the, you can see this says supplement fact label. You can kind of see it right there. You want to make sure any oil that you intend to take internally has a supplement fact label. That means it is safe for ingestion. Now, that being said, just because you buy one brand like doTERRA, not every doTERRA oil you want to take internally. So you still want to look at that no matter what brand you're choosing. But the other good thing I like about doTERRA, you can see at the bottom of the bottle, there's a stamp on there that you can actually type that number into a website called Source to You, and they'll give you the GCMS reports that show you the purity, the grade of the oil. It tests for any kind of impurities, so you can really be sure you know what you're getting, because every bottle is stamped with a unique number on it, and you can find out where that bottle's from. And you can read the reports. Good luck reading them. They're a little overwhelming, but once you know what you're looking for, and there's every one of them's got like a little video, you can they can explain to you what to look for in the report. So, and there's lots of websites out there that are not brand specific that will help teach you how to sort through some of the information. So if you want more information about it, you can always talk to me, but I always like to give you guys as much information to do the work on your own too. Because if you're like me, I usually pick up information from people, then I go and I do my own research as well. And it's very empowering to do that, again, across the board on just about anything, to know how to verify your own decisions. Pretty important. So that being said, there's 3 ways you can use essential oils. I think most commonly people use them aromatically, so breathing, whether it's through a diffuser or in a product, we think about aromatherapy, or just breathing out of the bottle. And that's pretty much the most common way I thought, or the only way I thought that oils worked, was just, this is wild orange, was breathing it in that way. And the beautiful thing about aromatherapy is it literally is therapy. So when you breathe an oil in, it actually can positively affect your mood, which is amazing. I could do a whole class, and actually I am doing a class on how essential oils balance your emotions. Your emotions, like I've talked about, are so important. You want to know how to identify them and pull yourself out of them if they're kind of spiraling you in a direction you don't want to go. So like wild orange, all the citruses are usually pretty energizing, which is great. And this wild orange is actually the oil of abundance too. So I usually diffuse this in the morning when I'm doing my intentions, when I'm meditating, because it's refreshing, but it's not so stimulating that I feel like it's an abrupt switch from being, going from sleep into a room full of a whole bunch of scents, and it's overpowering. Wild orange, in my opinion, is one of my favorites, and in my opinion, one of the best oils for first thing in the morning to kind of get you acclimated to the day. And again, being the oil of abundance, never hurts to have that pumping in my pumping in the room while I'm doing my my morning meditations. But again, the citruses, the citrus family, so you've got lemon, you've got wild orange, a whole bunch of other ones. Those are usually awakening to some degree. And it can help with stress. It can help with insomnia, which is weird too, because you think it's keeping you awake. But wild orange can kind of help you on either side, depending on where you need to be. Do you need to calm down, or do you need to wake up? It can kind of balance you out, so it's pretty powerful. And wild orange too is one of the most inexpensive, so I can use it abundantly because I fear I will never run out of it. But it's great for colds. Like I said, it's great for anxiety. It's also a great antiseptic, so can be used as a home bathroom cleaner, a kitchen cleaner, something like that. So not only does it actually clean, but it leaves your bathroom smelling like a citrus field. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. So love wild orange. I have it diffusing right now, actually, as I do this video. So you, like I said, you can take the oil straight out of the bottle, or you can even, I'm going to try to show you just one drop. Whoop. Rub it together in your hands and just taking a nice breath. I do this now when I do massage for my clients because it's such a powerful to get that nice deep breath in there and get the smell, the aroma actually working. And what it does, it goes up into your nose, straight into your brain. It goes into your amygdala, which houses your emotions, and that's where it starts to do the work. The beautiful thing about your working with your emotions through essential oils is that you can't avoid it. Like, it's going straight up in your nose. Now, you can close your eyes, you can plug your ears, but unless you have an issue with smell, you can't stop smelling. So you can constantly work on your emotions when you are doing aromatherapy. So love it aromatically. The next thing that you saw me do actually is putting it on my skin topically. Just about every oil out there is going to say that it's safe to be used aromatically and topically, because that's kind of what they're for. We're going to put them in our lotions. We're going to put them on, like lavender is great for wounds, frankincense. A lot of oils are great for just clearing up skin blemishes. So most oils will tell you that they're safe aromatically and safe topically, but not safe internally. And so here's my challenge question to you on that. I think I've mentioned before, what you put on your skin after 26 seconds, that is absorbed into your body as if you actually ate whatever it is you just put on your skin. So whether it's sunscreen, what do they call it? To prevent mosquitoes from landing on you. I don't know why I can't, not DEET, but what is that? Mosquito spray. Cosmetics, lotion, lip gloss, perfume, all these things, guys, that we kind of put on to feel pretty or to protect our skin. Depending on what's in there, we are loading our body up with toxins. And sometimes when folks have trouble losing weight, it's because their body, the fat, is holding on to all those toxins, and it doesn't have a clear plan of escape, of exit, so it holds on. Your body's actually holding on to the toxins that's stored in the fat, and that's how sometimes we have trouble losing weight, is because we really, really, really need to detox. And essential oils can help you with that as well. But the more you start to take all the synthetic stuff out of your environment, the better off you'll be, believe me. And you might think you have allergies or you're really sensitive to smells, and you're probably just irritated by the synthetic fragrances that are in just about everything. Even the more cleaner versions of that, they're not 100% real, or they're so processed from where they were originally derived that they don't have any healing properties, and they still might irritate your smell. So even some of the more natural laundry detergents and things like that have lavender in them, maybe a little less toxic for you to smell, but it's probably still not a great thing to have a lot of, and might still cause some irritation. I haven't worn perfume in so long, and some of these other things that when I smell them on people, some of these synthetic fragrances, I can't take it. Like it just irritates my nose. It irritates my throat. Paul always says I'm so sensitive to smell because I can smell things. I can smell synthetic fragrances a mile away. So again, if you put that on your skin, your body's absorbing it. So when you're looking at using essential oils and they say you can't internalize it, but you can put it on your skin, you might wonder, wait, that doesn't make sense, because if I'm putting it on my skin, I'm internalizing it anyway. Now, what they might mean is that you wouldn't want to take it through your mouth down your throat. It might irritate your throat. Or again, so many folks don't consider that. They think, oh, I'm just putting it on my skin. I'm not actually taking it in. Like, I don't want my liver to process it. Oh, you put it on your skin, your liver's going to have to process it in some fashion at some point. So I would highly suggest in your research when you're picking out your essential oils that you pay attention to and go with a brand that is safe to digest, ingest, not just take topically or aromatically. Because even if you're breathing it in, you're still breathing it in. So no less harmful in my opinion. Alrighty, so that's two. We can aromatically, we can apply topically, and then we can ingest. And I've talked about that a little bit already. Not every oil is safe to ingest, even from a reputable brand. So you want to make sure you see that supplement fact label. And even then, guys, I highly suggest you work with somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to essential oils. This is not always an aromatherapist, because if you think about their name, they don't necessarily study safety of oils ingesting. Most aromatherapists don't suggest taking them internally. And even a lot of doctors will warn you against it because they don't want to take that chance. And that sounds kind of funny, but it's like if you don't know what you're talking about, sometimes it's best not to say anything at all. So it really doesn't say much about the oil. It kind of says more about their education around it. And that's okay. It's hard to be a specialist in everything. So that's what, all my clients that I work with oils, they know that they're working with somebody who's a health coach, who can help them through, who's studied essential oils, who knows the process of what your body goes through ingesting them, and just all the information. doTERRA is a great company as far as their education around essential oils, the science behind it, how this actually works, how it interacts in your body. And you've heard me say I'm not a science geek, but I listen to it. I take it in. I may not remember everything verbatim, but the amount of resources and education they have around their products is truly amazing. I've learned so much in the past year. So if you're taking an oil internally, please come to me. I love my brand, but I'm not going to tell you have to buy doTERRA. I will help you make a good decision. But, that's where my heart lies. So I'm going to show you two more oils, or actually I've already kind of talked about bergamot a little bit. Bergamot is a beautiful scent. This was actually one of my favorite oils when I was doing massage, because it's citrusy, but I think it's got a sweet smell, kind of a floral smell to it as well. But it is also very, it's antibacterial, antifungal. It's great for your digestion. It's a good anti-inflammatory. And I was going to read you just a couple of things that it is for your emotions. I told you wild orange is the oil of abundance, but all the oils and all the oil blends actually help support your emotions too. And I mentioned that briefly. And what bergamot is good for is if you're feeling like you have low self-esteem, a lot of judgment going on, diffusing this. Again, aromatherapy, you can put it topically as well, maybe on your lower lip if you want, but breathing it in directly, that's where you're going to get the greatest impact on your emotions. So this helps you with self-acceptance, optimism, confidence, feeling lovable, hopeful, feeling good enough. So it works, guys. Like, it really works. But again, these oils are so potent and so powerful, you do not need a lot. An example of their potency, so like peppermint oil, again, one of my favorites. There's so many of them, my favorites. Peppermint is great. If you've got a headache, you can put a little bit here. You can put some at the base of your skull. Also, if you're feeling hot. When I went to Thailand last year, somebody brought peppermint essential oil. And it was from Whole Foods. You can take it internally. It's one of my more recent experiences with essential oils before I knew what I was talking about, but we were putting it on the back of our necks and on our temples like crazy because it was so hot and we were working so hard, and it worked. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm surprised I don't know more about these oils. And then a couple months later I was taking the classes, but still at that point I had no idea how they help with your emotions. But 1 drop of peppermint oil is equivalent to about 24, I hear a couple different things, 24 or 28 cups of peppermint tea. 1 drop. So peppermint tea, a lot of folks take for like digestive issues, so peppermint's great for that too. And there's a blend I'm going to talk about in a minute that's got the peppermint in it. But imagine drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea just to clear up your headache or help with your digestion. I actually put peppermint oil in glass, only glass or steel, but I put a drop or 2 in there and I drink that. It helps with my breath. It helps, I don't really get headaches, but my battery's running low. So it helps with my headaches if I have them, but it also just helps me feel cool. And it helps with your breath. If you're about to go someplace and you don't want to have bad breath, you can use peppermint oil for that. But like I said, 1 drop is the equivalent of about 28 cups of tea, and it's only like 8 cents a drop. So when you factor that in for the price concerns, it's a no-brainer in my opinion. The 3rd oil I'm going to talk about tonight, just to give you an example, these are just some of my favorites of the day, but this is the one that sold me, Digestin. When I got my first grouping of oils, when I got my kit, this is the one I used first because it's good for nausea, it's good for digestive issues, but when I got it, I actually was on my period, and I put a couple of drops of the Digestin on my belly, and my cramps went away in minutes, guys. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I can't really remember, but a short amount of time. A couple of drops right on my belly, and my cramps went away. And I don't have heavy cramps, but they're enough where they just knock me off my game. I don't feel good. You know, they're cramps. They're not fun. 6 hours, I swear. I don't even know if I reapplied that day. I usually get my cramps in the middle of the day. I don't even think I reapplied any oil that day. But since then, during my cycle, I'll maybe apply it a couple of times a day. That one day, that's really all I needed. This one, there's a couple others that I use now, but it's great for bloating, for gas, any kind of digestive issues. We've been talking a lot about that. This one you actually can take internally. It's got some peppermint in there. It's got some ginger, some caraway, some anise, some fennel, all great things for your digestion. You can take this internally. You can put it in a veggie cap. You can take it, put it right on your belly like I do sometimes. Whatever you feel works for you in that moment. They're so potent. They're so versatile. They're really, really easy to use once you know a little bit more about what you're doing and how to use them best to serve whatever ailment you have. Because sometimes it's better to apply it topically versus internally. Sometimes it's better to do aromatically versus one of the others. And it takes a little bit of practice. It takes some self-study. It takes just like anything else, it just takes a while. You don't learn how to cook in one day. You read recipe after recipe after recipe, and before you know it, you're way more comfortable in the kitchen than you used to be, and it's the same way with oils. I got my little apothecary in my closet now, my oils. Paul's got something going on. I'm like, hold on, let me go put a pill together for you. But it's pretty amazing, guys. Like I said, they're very, very powerful. I feel much more equipped in my health journey with my oils. I use them for so much now, and it's been less than a year that I've just fallen in love with them and found so many uses for them. And Paul's using them. Pulo, I use them on my dog. Kids, they're safe for kids. Obviously, you want to dilute. There's different things that you want to do to make them safe for different folks. But they're just amazing. Just an amazing tool to have in my toolkit. So it's a little bit longer video than I planned. As you can tell, I'm kind of passionate about oils. I love using them in my practice. I love using them for myself. And that's it. I think I could ramble on for hours, but I just want to, again, thank everybody for joining in. I hope you learned something. I'm not going away. Please follow me on Facebook. 6 Foot Sarah is my website on Facebook. I'm getting my website up soon. And hopefully you guys will follow me there. And I'm always available. Some of you even have my phone number. You can reach out to me that way too. So I'm here to help. Hope you guys have a great evening. I love you all. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.